Okay, we still don't have a name.
We also don't have any
firstly,
viewership, so it's
Let's
fine.
introduce ourselves.
That's what I was going to say.
Do that last
And
time.
I said this last week as well, after we finished. I was like, we need to introduce ourselves. And Max goes, oh, we don't need to introduce ourselves. I was like, what is wrong with you? And then when we end the podcast, I'm like, Max, I need to end the podcast. And he's going, and he's talking. And then he goes, yeah, just end it. And I'm like, you're talking
Yeah,
while
just
I'm
end it.
trying to end it.
Andrew almost introduced us then, but he didn't say his name.
Okay. Oh, I don't know how to introduce.
No, I'm just saying because you said
Okay.
Max
Hey, guys.
clap, and then you could have said Andrew clap, and then
No,
you said
don't
Michelle
keep that
clap.
part in though.
I'm obviously not.
No, I'm
Okay,
just saying,
anyways,
could have cut it out.
welcome to this podcast that still has no name. I am Michelle.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Max.
And we are the Three Musketeers. Andrew's joke.
So it's definitely not Andrew's joke.
Check the podcast from last week, mate.
Bit better there, bit better.
Anyway.
Anyways.
Okay, so we still don't have a name, but we'll get there. Eventually, I hope.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Okay. Michelle apparently has a funny story, so let's dive straight into it.
It's not that. I mean, I guess it's a
Your
funny
exact
story.
words. Guys, I have a great story for the
Yeah,
podcast.
that's a great story, not a funny
No,
story.
okay, sorry,
no,
my mistake.
I thought she said funny.
No, I said I have a great story.
Great implies funny as well, though.
Well, not
a
necessarily.
great story's got comedy in it.
Not necessarily. Not.
Anyways, okay, here we go. I went to Adelaide on Thursday, and on the way there, I had a kid kicking me the whole time, like the back of the seat, the whole time,
Right, on the plane,
screaming.
not
Yeah.
just generally.
No,
You're
not just
sitting
in
there
general.
and
On
he's kicking you.
the seat, yeah.
Okay.
So he's kicking the seat the whole time and screaming the whole flight. This is 7:00 in the morning as well.
How long's the flight?
2 hours.
Okay.
So for 2 hours, there's a screaming kid. There's someone kicking my seat. It was very frustrating. Anyways, so I was hoping for when I would come back to Sydney the next day, yesterday, I would have a decent flight. It's 7:30 at night. There shouldn't be anyone on it. Like
Yeah.
it should be like a nice, easy flight. Turns out there was some smoke coming from the control tower at Sydney Airport.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
And so they closed the airport for 2 hours. No flights in and no flights out. So that meant my flight got delayed. Only by an hour, but still an hour too long.
Yeah.
So I get onto this flight eventually, finally. And they were saying over the intercom that the airport, Sydney Airport, has a curfew. They close at 11. So that means we have to get there before 11. If we get there after, we have to go somewhere else. And we
Right.
can't land at Sydney.
Yeah.
So I'm already like freaking out, like, oh my god, please, 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 just like let's land at Sydney, like let's just get there on time. And then there's some commotion going on behind me, and I turn around, and there's these two Asian guys, and
Gauge Max interest.
there's these two Asian guys, and one of them can speak English, and the other one cannot speak any English. And turns out they both have the same name, apparently, and one guy doesn't have any identification on him. No passport, no ID.
Right.
And the plane is fully booked because the plane before mine got cancelled. So they had to, like, pack this flight with as many people as they could.
Yeah.
And so this guy has his seat. And the other guy, who must have been his family member, I think it was his dad or cousin or uncle or something like that, I don't know. But he must have, like, snuck onto the flight somehow. I don't know how he got onto the plane. Honestly, don't know how.
So you're on the plane at this point.
I'm on the plane.
Right.
Fully through security.
Yes. And
Interesting.
the guy, like, they're like, do you have any ID on you or anything? And he's not answering anything because I think he doesn't know what they're saying, or maybe he's pretending that he doesn't know what they're saying. And so the guy, the flight attendant, is like on the radio, like talking back and forth to the airport, trying to find this booking. And they're like, okay, well, we found this guy. Like, you can stay on the plane. Like, this is your flight. This is your seat. But we don't know your name. And then they're trying to find the name, and they're like, this guy doesn't exist. Like, he's not supposed to be on this flight. He's supposed to be on a different flight or something. And they're like, okay, that's it. You have to go. We have to get off the plane. And he's like, no, I can't get off the plane. I have to be on this plane. Essentially, that's what he's saying. And he's like, you have to get off. You're not on this flight. And then the flight attendant is like, if you don't get off, we all have to get off the plane. And I'm thinking, please no, just get off the damn plane, please. Because I think part of it was a security problem. Like, if they let this guy who has no ID on him stay on the plane, like, that probably is a pretty big risk.
Yeah.
And then also, we wouldn't be able to land in Sydney on time. And so, he eventually gets off the plane finally, and then this guy who's his friend or whatever chases after him, and
So
he's
he
like,
leaves the plane as well?
No, he stays on the plane, but he's like, he doesn't speak any English, and the people are like, why didn't you tell us this before? For one, but yeah, he sits down and we take off. But then the whole flight, it's the worst turbulence I've ever experienced. Like, the plane was literally, like, falling out of the sky. Like,
Yeah.
It was so bad. And the landing was awful. We, like, landed and then just, like, went straight to the left. And, like, I thought I was going to die at that point. But
Jeez.
finally, I got home at midnight when I was supposed to be home by, like, at least 11. So it was rough. But that was my Friday. My Friday night. So, yeah.
Good story. Great.
It is
Yeah,
a great
wouldn't-
story.
I mean, we've all had our fair share of
I've never...
delayed flights, shitty flights.
I just witnessed someone get kicked off a flight.
I've seen that.
I can't say I've seen that, but that's funny though. Like, I'm surprised that the friend who did speak English didn't speak. Oh, by the way, he doesn't speak English. I'll translate for you. Or
Yeah,
something.
I don't know why they
Well,
weren't.
unless
I
you
think he
couldn't,
was
but-
translating, like while they were like,
Oh, okay.
like yelling, but they were all talking on top of each other.
So that does beg the question though: how does he get through? How does he get onto the plane? How does
I
he get
know.
that far?
I
Because you
know.
have to show your boarding pass.
Because
to get
here's
onto
the
plane.
thing, right? They were like scanning these tickets like really fast because we were already delayed.
Yeah.
So they just go beep 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 beep.
So maybe you just kind of
And then, yeah.
Yeah, but you've got to
I don't know how.
get through security.
There's okay.
You
So you
need
have to
a boarding
You have to
pass.
check in. You
Yeah.
don't actually have. I suppose
No.
you don't really have to check
No,
in.
you
do
can fake check in, but you walk to security, but you need a boarding pass to get through security.
Yeah. They,
I had my boarding pass on my phone. They didn't check anything for my.
What?
really? They just let you
Security.
through. Security.
Yeah. They don't check your boarding. What do you mean, like security? Like where you put your
when you-
bags
yeah,
through
you-
the.
You
the
put your bag through, and
Usually,
then you
there's
go
someone
through
at like as you're lining up. There's someone just checking, just having a look to make sure you actually have a ticket
so,
to get
so
through.
you can't, because like there's a point in a airport.
Well, this is a domestic flight.
Yeah, even domestic. There's a point you can't cross unless you have
No,
a
you
boarding
can.
pass.
You can at domestic airports. You can just go through.
Not at Sydney domestic airport.
Yeah.
You can't go to the gate unless you've got a boarding
Yes, you
pass.
can. I've done it before.
I'm not 100% certain. I can't.
I've done it
neither
before.
confirm or deny these allegations.
Domestic airports, you can just go through into the area.
Yeah, I feel like you can.
It's
'Cause I've-
international that you can't.
No,
yeah, no,
I feel
because
like it's both
domestic.
of them.
Last time I went domestic, I checked in online, and I didn't have any luggage to check in, so I just walked straight through. No one questioned me.
I
Yeah,
literally
so-
did it while I was in Sydney and in Adelaide. You can
Yeah.
just walk through because I didn't have any bags to check in, so you can just walk straight through. They don't care.
So
I didn't
are we
even show
saying that
anyone
the
my
airport
ID.
Needs to up their security.
I mean, there's
That
not.
seems hella sketch, but
It does, but also
That's why I don't fly domestic.
dude, I'm just gonna try fly to Gold Coast tomorrow. Just gonna
Should
walk
we?
on.
Can we do that?
Yeah, why not?
Can
Well,
we
you
do
still
like
need
a
a boarding-
podcast experiment?
you still need
Well,
the
apparently
boarding
you
pass.
don't, because old mate got on.
Yeah, that's true. But you still need the boarding pass to get
No.
onto the plane.
No, but he
He
didn't.
got on the plane, didn't he?
But I'm pretty sure he like just had a different boarding pass.
Yeah, but they would have. If that's even more confusing if you had a different boarding pass. 'cause
I know.
They would have scanned it and it would have been like, "Bud up."
But I have no idea.
Maybe he just tapped his Opal card and jumped on.
Maybe
The new way of flying.
Yeah.
if the two guys did have the same name,
Hmm.
maybe the first guy scanned it and then kind of went to the side a bit and just passed it back.
Maybe.
Nah, that
And
would.
they
But
scanned
I
it.
feel like that would have like made
It would
like
come
a
up with a
noise.
double scan.
Yeah.
Well, you'd think so, but it
Should
probably
we
doesn't happen that
book?
often.
Should we book a ticket to the Gold Coast? One ticket and try and get 3 of us to the Gold Coast on one ticket.
The thing
All
but
under
we
the same
need-
name.
We need free seats though, because if the
No,
flights-
hide in the toilet.
I don't think you'd be able to.
You can't
I'm
hide
sure
on
the,
the
Or-
toilet.
the
or-
stewards would they not
Yeah.
check? They check.
They would check.
Or we just go at like when the flight would be empty.
But how do we know when the flight's going to be?
A
empty?
Tuesday midday flight. That's not going to be packed.
Well, that's a gamble I'm not willing to risk.
I can
Honestly,
guarantee
What's
Yeah.
the
that.
ticket to Gold Coast? Like $200? Between $200?
Get it on sale, $60.
Tiger.
We're also in off-peak season to
Yeah.
Queensland.
It's a good experiment.
It's more
What's the-
expensive to fly to Melbourne in winter. So like, if we go to Melbourne, it'd be way more expensive.
What's
But
the
going
worst
to
that
Queensland, it's
happens?
cheaper.
We get arrested.
Yeah.
Not if we don't bring ID. We just say, we'll just head home.
Yeah, nah, I'll miss out on this.
But yeah,
This-
this
the
guy,
spearmint rhino can wait.
no ID. This guy had no ID. And I was just like, wow. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. And also, I just want to get home because I don't want to have to like fly to Melbourne or something and not be able to make it to Sydney.
Well, they wouldn't have flown you to Melbourne.
Where would we have gone?
They could divert you to like Bankstown Airport.
The regional airports are closed. If the airport is closed, if Sydney Airport's going to be closed at 11, why do you think Bankstown would be open?
Because regional airports don't have the noise restrictions. Because Sydney Airport's in the heart of Sydney, so the reason it closes at 11 is because the planes fly over houses. That's why it closes. That's why, like, other international hubs, like Japan's airports, they're all out away from, like, built-up areas, so the planes don't wake people up, so they can run them 24/7.
Bankstown Airport, you know what time it closes today?
Bankstown was a poor choice. You'd probably end up in, like, Orange.
It closes at 6 p.m.
That was very loud.
My apologies.
I don't mind if you yell, but just don't go right up to the microphone.
Yeah, just maybe yell from back here.
Yeah.
Closes at 6 p.m. I'm pretty sure regional airports are closed way earlier, because, like, when I was living in Wagga, the airport was closed at, like, 6.
They wouldn't have diverted a flight to Melbourne that was going to Sydney, though.
Yeah, it's a big diversion.
But they can't take
They
you
wouldn't have
to
enough.
Sydney.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have enough fuel to fly up to Sydney, then back down. They don't put enough fuel on a plane.
Byron
And the
Bay.
last flights they do. The last flights they fill it up.
No, they
That
don't
would make sense.
Well, no, they don't put. The reason that they only put certain amount of fuels is because fuel's heavy, which means the flight goes. It's less efficient, basically.
You're saying all this stuff like as if I don't
I-
know this, and that's why the
They
flight
wouldn't have
might have
diverted
been
you to Melbourne. I promise
It
you.
would have been way heavier. That's why the turbulence probably was way worse than it probably should have been.
No, turbulence isn't affected by plane weight. Turbulence is just wind. It was just a windy night.
Yeah, but
Don't look at me
I'm
for
pretty
reassurance,
sure. I'm
yeah,
pretty
no.
sure weight can be a factor into how heavy something's going to be when the wind is pushing you up and down.
Yeah, but arguably, the lighter you are, the more you'd be affected by turbulence. So if they put
Probably.
more fuel in it, you would have had less turbulence, which is the opposite to what you just said.
Right. I think we should definitely move on from this topic.
I think so too.
Yeah. Oh, God, we're gonna get in so many fights over this shit. This random shit like this. Both, and you know what the funny thing is? Both of you are uneducated on this topic.
No,
Yeah, I
watch,
know.
I watch
Neither of
this
you is-
guy on YouTube.
I'm not claiming to be educated.
Yeah,
I'm just.
no, and
I'm not claiming
saying,
to be like properly educated, but I watch this guy on YouTube.
But you can't just shut down someone for saying, "Well, this
No.
might be the issue." And you, no, it's not, and I know that it is, even though you don't. That's what I'm saying.
All I'm saying is, you have a big nose.
And then he just goes, "That's your defense." It's so.
All I'm saying is Hitler would have an outlook like you.
There is more of a chance of me flying
Who's
to
that?
you're
Melbourne
Anything.
Yeah, you're Hitler.
and being diverted to Melbourne than there would be of me going to a regional airport, because there's no way that I could get to
They
a
wouldn't
regional.
fly you up to Sydney, and then
But it-
all
the-
the
What's
way
the time
down to
difference
Melbourne.
from Melbourne?
There's no time difference.
No, exactly.
Flying
So surely,
Adelaide
You
to...
mean the
No,
flight
as in-
time difference?
No, there's like so you're gonna arrive in Sydney after 11,
Yeah.
risking after 11. Therefore, if you go to Melbourne, it'd be after 11. Do they have a closing time?
I'm not sure.
Because then they might have said, "Well, we can't go to Melbourne because it's closed." We'll have the same issue.
Well, that's why the guy, he didn't say anything. He just said, we'll keep you posted. We'll keep
They
you
would have.
updated.
They would have just cancelled the flight if they thought they weren't going to make it for 11.
Yeah. I
No,
suppose
because
they wouldn't
the
know.
thing is, like, when you're flying, you don't know. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
if we leave by this
But
certain
what they-
point,
but they-
then yes, there's a
they're-
chance that we could get there, but there's also a chance that we might not be able to make it there in time.
But airplanes predictions are like mad good. Like you're getting a flight and they're like, this flight's gonna be 14 hours and 26 minutes, and then you land and they're like, and we came in just a bit quicker there at 14 hours and 24 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but there's still that chance, especially when you have some
yeah, but
random
if there was the
person-
chance of like overflying, they just wouldn't risk it, because if they did have to divert you, and if you somehow ended up diverted to Melbourne, then that
Yeah.
would cost them so much money to then fly everyone from Melbourne to Sydney.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that, like, if we're... Because they were saying this while we're on the flight. Like, we're already in the air. And they're saying, we might have... There's a possible chance that we might be diverted somewhere else.
I've got a
Alright.
question.
Oh, here we go.
What if one of us like moves?
Moves?
Are we gonna have to do like the podcast via satellite?
What do you mean moves?
Max, you have zero money. I also have just a little bit more than zero
Yeah, but
money.
like what I told you about the
About-
parents.
Oh, right. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
I didn't think they make a bridge that big.
Hilarious. Well, mate, if someone moves, then that's the end of the podcast. As simple as that, I think.
What do you mean moves? We can still... Like, everybody here has a license.
I don't have
Unless
my
they move
pilot's
overseas.
license.
Move overseas.
Yeah. Not that far.
Like,
If you look at that
we'll
map.
cross that bridge when we come to it. Like, because, we're dedicated. This is getting us an income, and we do have a lot of followers, so we do need to commit.
Yeah, that's
So,
what I'm saying.
I don't know,
Obviously.
we'll risk it if someone moves, I guess.
You know what?
but-
Cut that sarcasm from Andrew. Just cut that.
Cut that. Whoever's editing this. Oh wait, me. Don't cut that.
Kill Andrew's family. Just note to self.
I'll cut that bit.
And then I'll forget. I'll listen back to the I was meant to do something today.
You won't listen back to the podcast.
You're
Let's
right.
talk about last week's podcast. So finally got round to editing.
Have we already ran out of topics? Rehashing last week.
Yeah, this is a throwback episode, guys. We're taking a trip down memory
We're still
lane.
new to this. We're still learning.
Yeah. But yeah, we finally edited it
Cut
and listened to it back. Well, two out of three of us did.
It's not bad.
So this is why it would be good if you did listen to it.
I remember it. I was there.
Okay, can you talk about that thing about 30 minutes in that we spoke about?
Okay, even if I watched it, I wouldn't fucking write timestamps.
Yeah, but it's
on
like a very big deal, that 30-minute part. It's
Is
like
it?
very...
Is it perhaps?
Oh, mate.
Okay. Stop saying people's full names.
Or was? Oh,
Oh, mate.
I think I also blanked out Eric's when he said his address or something. Did I take that? He said it in Max, seriously.
it's so much easier now though because it's separate track. To just mute me.
I don't care.
I muted
It's
myself
just
when I
an
said that as
issue.
well.
It's just an issue.
I pressed the mute.
I don't care. It's just so annoying, dude. It's not funny, and it's just going to make things harder in the long run.
It didn't pick anything up.
I mean, there's 2 other microphones that can still hear your voice.
It's a good behind the scenes look. Everyone's looking frosty today.
What?
It's a bit of a frosty.
Anyways,
house. Did
so-
someone put the air conditioning on? Because
Yeah,
it's
'cause
cold.
it's a bit cold in
The
here.
air conditioning is actually.
And it is a
on.
bit cold in here, but I run very cold, and you always have the aircon on in the car at
I
like
run very
minus
hot.
like 6 degrees.
I'm a hot boy.
You
I'm
know.
a hot pocket.
You know.
That's what they call me. That's
I'm
what they
so
called.
hungry.
That's what they called me in the clink. I'm starving.
Yeah, me too.
They called me hot pocket in the clink.
Should we go to our sponsors, Chocolate Charlie's, after this? Or
I think so.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I could. Yeah.
I could. Oh my god,
You can't afford it.
definitely.
Oh, he's got some cash in it. Alright, fine. Why
Have
are you
you-
questioning it? And let's go Chocolate Charlie's.
Save that money that I gave you.
I somehow pulled a magic trick, and look at this.
Did you
For those
double
who
it?
can't see, he's taking out $60.
Nice.
I somehow added a whole.
$20.
Yeah, I was going to say the percentage, but I can't be bothered to figure it out.
Where did that money come from?
Prostitution.
I gave Max $40 to take me to the airport.
Oh, Michelle, you were...
Which,
Yes.
I mean, when you think about it, she prostituted my car services.
Right,
Your mum's car.
that's right. Max offered me $15 out of that 40 for me to come just so that he didn't have to be alone for the car ride home.
I was really scared
And
I'd be
I said,
tired.
$15, go fuck yourself, because I'm not getting up at
I'll
40.
tell you what, I'm glad that you didn't come and I copped the whole 40 because I wasn't that tired driving home. You know, it was still dark when I got home. You know, when I was in the car, I was like, maybe it'll be light when I'm driving back, so it won't be so bad. Nah, pitch black.
It was, yeah, the sun doesn't rise till
Yeah,
like
it
7
turns
in the
out
morning.
that it was actually genuinely 4:30 in the morning when we left.
Yes.
That wasn't just a thing that I imagined. And I'll tell you what, I'm excited to do it again for less money.
Yeah,
Why are you doing it again?
Because I have to go to Melbourne, and I don't have anyone else who doesn't do anything. that's
How
able
much you
to
paying
take
him this time?
I'll give you like $20.
$20?
That's not really going to cover petrol and stuff.
Yeah, that
I
literally
gave-
doesn't
that's-
cover the tolls.
60. What do you mean, $20?
Yeah,
I mean, it
would.
covers the tolls and petrol, is what I mean.
I have given you $60 in total.
What time do you
I'll
have to
give
go?
Another 20.
What time do you have to go, Michelle?
Yeah, but how much is an Uber to the city, to the airport?
Oh, it'd be a lot.
$50.
It'd be a lot, yeah.
What
time's
It's a
your-
$30 saving.
What time's your,
That's
Flight.
what friends are for.
Yeah, not to pay, though. What time's your flight?
It's 7 o'clock in the morning.
No, I was going to offer, but fuck.
Yeah, no, it's another get up at 4 a.m. time.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
What day
I
of
was
the
going to
week
offer,
is it?
though.
It's the same day, Thursday.
I'm busy doing literally anything else.
You know what's on Wednesday
Sleeping.
though? You know what's on Wednesday that we should go to?
Is it the thing that you posted in the group
Wings
chat?
at Dan Sands.
It's all you can eat wings, $19.
Yeah, I'll do
That's
that for
not
lunch.
what you posted.
No. I'll do it for lunch. I'm meeting up with a friend Wednesday night, so
Who's
I-
the friend?
I don't want to talk about it on the podcast.
Who's the friend?
Ooh, who's the
Who's
friend?
the friend?
Just a friend,
Is it a girl?
maybe.
Do I know her?
It's not that type of friend.
Did they get a
fucking wish it was.
Did they go to JMC?
No.
Did they go to Davo?
No.
Oh my god, is it?
Oh, mate.
Why are you gonna say people's names?
Because I was really proud of myself that
I can't wait till it
I'm gonna
just
censor. Is it
Is it all mate?
I'll tell you what. I'm so proud of myself that I remembered her name.
Well done.
That
I'm gonna catch up with it. I'm just catching up with it. It's not like
That's cool.
we're just
it's not
going
like a
out for
weird,
a
intern
dinner and drink
mentor
something, I don't know.
relationship.
Anyway, so fuck, dude. If this, the annoying thing is, if this, we're actually gonna post this online, this is online forever. Just keep that in mind, okay?
You just censor the old mate bit and the intern bit.
I'm gonna yeah, it's just annoying. I don't want to have to censor shit.
What time are you meeting with her?
I have no idea. We haven't organised.
Because I don't know what times wings start, but you get
It'll be nighttime. It'll be like
no,
6, 7.
because they're talking about like happy hour with it. I think it's like a lunch thing.
Happy hour is
Yeah,
like
lunch.
4 to 8.
Yeah, their happy hour starts at 4. I'm pretty sure the wings
mate.
start before their happy hour because their dumplings start pretty early as well.
well, we can go and we can eat, and then
If only I had a
can
man
go.
on the inside.
I can go.
I hope you guys have a wonderful time
Well, where are you?
in class,
Skip class.
Loser.
at work, and in class.
Oh my god, what's the date?
Today?
30th of
The
March.
30th.
Oh my god, I can nearly apply for uni.
Oh my god. Apply
So-
for a job.
Let's talk
I
about.
have. When Andrew was
That's
playing poker the other night,
Hmm?
Andrew and my brother were playing poker, and it was like 2 hours of them playing poker, and I sat there for 2 hours on Seek just applying for everything.
Nice.
Guess how many responses I got?
0.
3.
0!
Damn. I was
Yeah,
trying
it's
to be
too
positive.
obvious, right?
I was trying to be positive.
Literally, I got a call from a fake Vodafone.
Well,
Nice.
offering you a job.
No.
Wanting
Wanting me
to
to
be
give
like,
them
yeah,
money.
I'll take it.
Yeah, give me. I'd work in a call center and just cold call people.
Do
Yeah,
that.
do it. Try and find a job.
I applied for it.
Oh.
I set myself up a Star Now account,
A what?
Oh, nice. I have a
Star
Star
Now.
Now account.
Oh, like a
like
Like-
actors and shit.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just so I can find find some extra work. Honestly,
We-
just looking for money.
we
I applied
could-
for so many things.
We could, we could both easily. All three of us could easily. They tend to be white people. No offense. Get
No offense,
extra.
Andrew.
Get extras
For
on
those who
home,
don't know, I'm actually black.
extras on Home and Away.
Yeah, but do they get paid?
Yeah,
Extras on Home and
yeah,
Away?
yeah. Sam got paid.
Did he do it?
Yeah, Sam did it.
Because I know a friend of mine who I worked with has done it a few times.
And,
but I
yeah.
can't remember she said she got
And
paid.
I'm gonna be honest. Sam said he was like the darkest person there. Watch an episode of Home and Away. It's very.
Yeah, but your brother's quite tan. Like,
Yeah,
he's
no,
quite dark.
no, but it's really. He said it was very culturally undiverse.
Oh.
Not to
I don't
smear
watch-
Home and Away.
Yeah, I don't watch Home and Away very
don't
often,
watch
but
it,
when
yeah.
I do, couldn't tell you if there was a.
There's
darker-skinned
in.
person.
I don't know if it's Neighbours or Home and Away, but there's the
I don't know either.
it doesn't matter.
I don't watch it.
It's good because I don't actually know where he's from, so I would have, guffed it up, and then I would have sounded. I think he's Polynesian, but
Yeah, I don't know.
he kind of looks like Lewis.
So he's like an islander.
Do you know Lewis?
No. Who the hell's Lewis?
I can't say. I don't want to say his last name.
He's
He's the guy we went to school with.
yeah,
He's like Asian.
but he's like Polynesian Asian.
Right,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure.
Anyway.
Or his mum is his dad.
Is he like The Rock?
No.
He's a bit more Asian than The Rock.
Yeah.
But that's what the guy on Home and Away sort of like. He's like The Rock, but smaller.
Okay.
He's the Pebble.
Anyone could be the Pebble compared to the Rock.
So lame.
You're the sand compared to The Rock.
I'm the sand. What, a grain of sand?
Yeah.
I'm the whole beach, mate. I'm the whole beach.
There's a nice beach there.
This is like the kind of footage that you see like at karaoke when they don't have like the music video
Yes.
and they put
Yeah,
the
yeah.
words up on this.
Really annoyingly, only goes up to 360p. Don't know if it's the
just
TV.
like a karaoke.
So what are we talking about right now? For
There's just
those,
a T-
for
there's
those
a-
who aren't in the room and
There's a
can't
TV
see.
in the room, and it's just got nice earth porn playing on it.
It's just beach and water and
Why are you shaking your head at earth porn?
we're gonna get
That's
demonetized
literally what
because
it's
of the
called.
word.
It's literally called that.
We're gonna get demonetized before we even get monetized.
Reddit.com/r/earth porn.
Right. So when I was on Star Now, there was like a call for a group of friends for like a little documentary or something like that, and I was like, it's like, oh, I know, like who would I know that'd be good for this? And then I clicked on it, and it came up saying you need to be Islander, this, that, the Maori, and I was like, oh, I don't know anyone. I was like, it's not, that's me out the window.
You can pretend to be Islander.
I mean, yeah, I know I'm black, but
Yeah.
but
Boy, people are in for a surprise when we start the video podcast, and you just really see how black Andrew is. It's Actually, I've never seen a man more
We need
black.
to be careful. Well, you need to be careful here, mate. All right,
Yeah.
talking about my people like that. Can I say that?
I think you need to be
No.
more careful. You definitely can't
No,
say that
you
when you're
can't.
literally white.
Plot twist. No,
What
banter.
was we were lying the whole
Yeah,
time.
like,
You've
it's
all
just a
been
prank,
pranked.
bro.
Oh, that's okay. Have you seen the video where he throws the bottle into the guy's window, and he like gets out of his car and he starts chasing him, and the guy's like super pissed off, and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," and then the guy's like, the guy who threw the bottle's like, "Hey man, it's just a prank, it's just a prank," and the angry guy's like, "Oh, that's all right then," and he just like
Oh, man.
skips off, and then he starts running after them. He's like, "I've been thinking of starting a YouTube channel. Can you guys help me?"
Oh my god.
I've been do you know the YouTube channel First We Feast, and they do the Hot Ones
Hell yeah.
interviews?
Oh yeah.
So we watched a couple of them, and they interviewed Johnny Knoxville and Steve-O, the guys from Jackass.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they asked both of them what are their thoughts on like YouTube pranksters, because obviously Jackass being the
Yeah.
pioneers of those type of pranks and stuff.
Yeah.
And they said like they kind of like it in the sense of some of them are funny and clever and kind of plays off what they used to do and stuff like that. But then other stuff they really are against, because it's just people being mean to like unknowing civilians.
Yeah, I feel like I hate pranks that are against civilians. Like, if it's a bunch of boys or like a bunch of people,
Yeah,
it's a group of people and they're all in on it, like the Jackass crew, they all know that they're going to get
yeah, because
like
they're all
messed
pranking
with.
each other. They're
Yeah.
all, yeah.
Whereas if you just prank a civilian, they didn't sign up for that. You know, like Steve-O signed up for being hit with a giant hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like when you go to the shops, you don't sign up for someone pretending to be a terrorist.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
there's so it really made me think about it, because like those type of videos, I just kind of go, oh, it's stupid, whatever, I ignore it. But like, who thinks that's a good idea to go
Yeah.
out and like
Because
literally pick on people who, and then how do like I don't know if people sign off on it and stuff. Like that makes me think it's fake when they're not when they don't blur their faces and stuff.
Mm.
But it just seems so like ridiculous, and it made me think about like I haven't really watched. I've watched a couple of the Jackass movies.
I mean, there's only 3, so you've watched.
Four? I thought there was 4.
No, you've watched 2/3 of the Jackass movies.
I might
There.
have watched all 3 then, to be honest. I haven't watched the TV show, but
Oh, the TV show's so good.
but like I never really thought about it, but even when there are civilians involved in that, they're just bystanders. They're just looking
That's what I
on,
was going to say.
and you just see their reactions to what is happening in front of them.
Like the Party Boy one.
I don't know which
where-
one it is.
I think it's Chris England. He goes out to like shops and he puts on loud music and then he strips
Oh yeah,
in the middle of the shop. It's like that's no harm to civilians.
Yeah, like it's just weird, and people's reactions are funny.
Yeah.
Well, a good one, like that kind of is on the line of like messing with people, like is when Johnny Knoxville, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but he's like a big boxer. They go into a shop, dressed up as boxers,
and they fight.
Literally fight.
It's
Johnny
a
Knoxville
good
gets
series.
his head smashed in.
Yeah.
and like the shop kind of gets a bit damaged, which I assume they then like
Yeah.
compensate for. But and the shop owner, I would be pretty annoyed about it. I would imagine these shops just come in and getting a bit torn up, but no one physically gets hurt apart from the 2 people participating.
Mm.
Whereas I feel like, not that I'm going to say there's pranksters out there on YouTube that would go into a shop and just start beating people up. That's a bit extreme.
Yeah.
But they would try their best to get a person involved and get a person to start being aggressive or whatever, so that they can feed off that. That makes sense?
I've seen this video where it wasn't like, it was so wholesome compared to like, I mean, something like that's violent, but they did get people involved. It was like a pillow fight thing.
Right.
And
was it
like,
Angry Picnic? Do you know who it was?
I don't know who it
Okay,
was,
sorry,
but
continue.
like this guy was like at a college campus and had 2 pillows,
Yeah, it's
and
Angry
he
Picnic, yeah.
and he would like throw a pillow at someone and he'd be like, "Let's go," and like it was just with random people just
Yeah.
pillow fighting. And I think things like that are like so funny, and because it's just like random people just start pillow fighting in the middle of like the campus and
Yeah.
just like having a good time. I also watched this one video where you know when you like hail for a taxi or like a bus or something and you stick your hand out,
Yeah.
right? There was this video I watched where some guy would just like run past and just high five everybody who had their hand out.
That's fun.
And like they were all so confused and like, what the hell is going on? But like that was the prank. was high-fiving people.
No, that's funny. Angry Picnic's the guy who did the pillow fighting.
Yeah.
And he's my favorite, like, YouTube prankster or whatever. Because he just does stuff that makes people laugh. And just confuses people. And he writes, like, songs and just goes up to people and just starts singing to them.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do I do? And just going to stand here and listen. Like, and they usually get out their phone and film him or whatever. But the stuff he does is just... it's just, like, nice. And it's just a funny tone about it. Wholesome, yeah. It's very...
Yeah.
Just the way he goes about it. The people involved are the very, very odd occasion they're just not having it. They just don't want to talk or whatever. But every now and then, that's super rare. And it's usually because... It's usually in one of his videos where he just says YouTube comments. And so one of the comments might be like, hey man, do you want to go back to mine? And he'll go up to a dude and say that. And the dude will be like, hell no man, piss off. And then like walk away.
Yeah.
But America. So, yeah, I don't know. It is. It is.
You're correct. It is in America. I miss the days of like Jackass level stuff though. People don't really do that kind of stuff anymore. Like there was this YouTube channel, they're Australian. They're called Children of Poseidon. They're not really about anymore. But I reckon most people have seen them from their cactus videos. Like they're the ones that did the cactus grabbing one, and then one of them eats a cactus.
I can't say I've seen that.
But yeah, jumps into a cactus. He's on top of a car, and he jumps into the big cactus, and he's lying there, and it's just... He says the funniest thing I think I've ever heard, and I don't know what it is about it, but he's lying in this cactus, and it's obviously painful, because, you know, you don't fuck with cactuses, cacti, and he's like, help me now! And they have to lift him by the legs out. But they did a series that was the search for the ultimate nut shot. And when you watch it, it's equal parts the best thing ever and the worst thing ever, because it's this guy just trying to basically destroy his testicles. And it starts off with him on a roof, and he jumps off a roof onto a fence with his legs either side of the fence. And it gets worse and worse till they're at a half pipe with a bowling ball, and they just roll a bowling ball down a half pipe. And it's painful to watch, but also part of me is like, this is great. And like they did some pretty extreme stuff. Like they did extreme slip and slide, where they tied a rope to their legs, and they made this really long slip and slide, and the car just accelerates, and it pulls him along. And then at the end, there's a little ramp, and there's a little paddling pool for him to land in, and mattresses, and the car's going so fast that he hits the ramp, and he just clears the paddling pool, and just gets dragged through the dirt. And they just have a good sense of humor about it.
Yeah. So I feel like, so that's fine. If you, actually, I don't know if I agree with the nut one, where he's like, when you're doing it to yourself, I find that super weird. Like, why would you? But if it's just like a group of mates pranking each other, or because like friends do that in a group,
sort of like the Dudesons,
or the what?
Did you not watch the Dudesons?
No.
Dudesons are so good.
I don't watch
They pranked each other a lot.
Is it on YouTube? Is that YouTubers?
No, it's a show.
It was on Channel V, wasn't it?
Oh, you know what? The best. Yeah, it was the best show for it. Like Life of Bam.
Nah.
Did you watch Life of Bam?
As in Bam Margera?
Margera, but yeah. He used to like.
He was on Jackass.
Yeah, he was, because he was in CKY, which was they were like Jackass, and then the Jackass people were like, they were all underground and they saw each other, and Jackass is like East Coast,
right?
And I don't CKY is like
West.
I don't even know if it's West Coast. I think they were like
Just
I don't know
East,
wherever Bam Margera is from, and they like met up and they made Jackass,
right?
But they used to like prank, like Bam would prank his dad all the time.
Yeah, same.
Like there's such a good one where they dug a hole in the ground, and then they put a tarp over it and they covered it in leaves, and their mum's like, his mum's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And he's like, well, Phil's got to mow the lawn in half an hour. And then it hard cuts, and it's him driving his lawnmower, and it's like one of those ride-on ones, and he gets to the tarp, and it just tips straight into the hole.
That sounds so dangerous, but what if he falls into the...
No, it was like the perfect size hole that it went like that, and the front got caught, so he was like, sort of sat like that.
Okay.
It's such a good, like... but I've been watching Bam Margera lose his mind on Instagram. I think I've told you about you guys. I told you guys about it, but I don't know if you guys have looked at his Instagram, but he was like slowly getting nuttier and nuttier, and he like covered his car in spaghetti. Then his next post was like obviously his PR team, and then it was like, yeah, Bam's been checked into like a clinic.
Jesus.
Really?
Yeah, then like 3 days later, he was like, I'm out! But he was trying to have this big event at his old house. It's a big acreage, it's got a skate park in it, and he wanted to do this movie premiere and have an event, and Pocopson Township were like, nah, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. And he was like, why can't I have this event? And he was like saying that they're basically fucked up. And they're like, you can do it if it's charity. They had this rule that if you have a charity event, you can go ahead with it. So he turned it into a charity event, and they still said no. And then they had a big fox hunt, which was an event that broke the rules that they cited as to why Bam could never. So he completely lost his mind at that point.
Right.
Then he went and got like checked into this clinic. When he came out, it's all going ahead now, and they're getting along. It's really weird. It's on Monday the 1st of April. You can buy tickets at castlebamevent.com.
Is that absolutely right?
Yes. He said be there at 3 or 4 or
Details
5.
Details are on the website.
Well, he hasn't put a time on there, and he said in his story, he's like, turn up at 3 or 4 or 5. And that's a pretty big window. Is it 3 or is it 5? Turn up at 3, no one's there. Turn up at 5, everyone's already had fun.
So turn up before.
Number 4.
Yeah, but what if
Safe bet would be 3:30, I'd reckon.
Yeah.
I'll just turn up at 3. You're turning up at Bam's house. Bam's going to be there. If no one else is there, you get to meet Bam Margera. That's pretty sick.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
And they're going to be skating. There's going to be this movie premiere of a movie. I don't know what the movie is. I've come in too late to this whole Instagram fiasco. But he's put on weight. He's got really fat fingers. And the only reason I've realised this is because he sells rings. And you see him wearing his rings. And he's got fat fingers than me. And you go, you don't have the fingers for rings. I don't either. But he really doesn't.
Right.
They're like little sausages.
Okay.
When
I'm
did he
glad.
put spaghetti on his car?
Huh?
When did he put spaghetti on his car?
There's a video. It's like a cracked windshield. It's inside his car. I think he spilt a bowl of spaghetti, to be fair.
Oh, and he didn't just fill up his car with spaghetti or just dump a truck.
That
of
would be
spaghetti on.
awesome.
That's what I thought you meant.
No, it was just a bowl of
Yeah,
spaghetti.
I thought he
Oh.
threw spaghetti
Yeah.
on his car for
And,
no
and,
reason.
and one video, his windshield was fine. Then it had one crack. And then the next video, it's got 2 cracks. And they just don't reference it. And he put a
Continuity
chair.
error.
He had an internal glass door. He put a chair through it. Honestly, I think a lot of it's been deleted.
Right.
Because he had a full-on meltdown.
Right.
Fair.
I've met Tony Hawk before.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
At Rebel Sport, would you believe it? At Warringah Mall.
Was it during like one of them?
I
Was it
wouldn't
around the
believe
time
it.
of the Bolarama at Bondi?
I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know how many years ago it was now. Probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Because I used to come all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was one day, I was at Rebel with a mate, and it wasn't like heavily advertised. It was literally like a piece of paper on the door to Rebel or on the wall or something
Yeah.
as you entered. Tony Hawk will be here tonight. I'm like, oh, okay. There wasn't any other signs
Imagine-
or
Oh,
anything.
that's so
Imagine
cool.
if it's
So
like you
jealous.
misread it and you thought it said Tony Hawk will be here tonight, and it's actually Tony Hawks, the English comedian.
I'd be happy to meet him as well. So
At Rebel.
Yeah.
yeah, I thought Rebels are a bit of a random spot. Hey,
Rebel's a
yeah.
weird spot for Tony Hawk or Tony Hawks
Yeah.
because
Don't you think?
Rebel's not big on skateboards.
Like,
yeah, but they have skateboards.
yeah,
there.
they
And
do.
they
Yeah,
but
have
they have-
helmets.
I wouldn't call them skateboards. They've got planks of wood with bits of wheels stuck to them.
Yes, but
It is a bit of a weird spot for him to. Now, obviously,
yeah, I would have made more sense if it was
Sea
like a
parks.
SDS or City Beach.
yeah, or Borders too, or something like that.
Yeah, but that's not the mall.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but
it
Borders
would have
is-
been more sense for him to go
Bo-
to there.
Borders also did used to be called Borders at the mall. So
Did it?
yes,
When was it at the mall?
No, hang on. Are you thinking of Borders the bookshop?
no, I'm thinking of Borders the skate shop. It used to be called Borders at the mall.
What? Hang on. Did it used to
There
be at
was
the mall?
never-
No, it
Borders
was.
at the
It's
mall.
always in the same spot. It used to be called Borders at the mall.
No, it used to be called Borders too.
I don't know.
It was called
It
Borders.
might have been in between those. When
No,
I
it was
used to
called
go
Borders-
shop
It was
there,
called Borders 2, and then Borders, the bookstore, closed down, and then it changed to Borders. That's why it went from Borders 2 to...
I'm pretty sure in between those, when I used to go there, it was cool. I have a sticker. I'll find you the sticker.
And I can't remember, to be fair, I can't remember where Borders is. Is it anywhere even near the mall?
Yes, it is.
No.
It's right next to the mall.
Is it?
Borders.
Yes, it is.
I know there's one in Narrabeen.
That's
I
why
don't- I
I'm
don't
saying
remember which
Borders
one.
is opposite the Kia garage.
Okay.
Where's that?
It's opposite. It's next to Vinny's. No, it's not. Vinny's is
Right.
down the. It's next to you know the bus depot.
Yeah.
You know how the bus depot ends. It's a road and it's a series of shops.
Yeah.
It's in that series of shops.
Oh.
Maybe that's why it was called Borders at the Mall, because there's two.
I don't remember that.
I'll find the
Anyway.
sticker.
But when I met him, obviously I'm not a massive skater. Like, no, I'm not a skater.
Did he pop a 900?
I'm not a skater at all whatsoever. And people obviously bring their boards and stuff to get signed. And what did I do? Any guesses?
Did you take your Tony Hawk's Underground too?
No, I took Tony Hawk American Wasteland.
Also-
for him to sign. But I took the instruction booklet for him to sign.
That's a fantastic game.
It's a sick game.
I had my most fun in Project 8. I used to play
Really?
I used to play Project 8 and listen to Wolfmother on loop.
It goes American Wasteland, Thug 1, Thug 2, then Project 8 for me.
Yeah, I will admit Project 8 was probably the weakest of the games, but I spent so much time playing Project 8
Good
because
concept though for that game.
because Underground 2 was out when I started playing Tony Hawk games.
Right.
Like really playing them. And then American Wasteland just came out, so I had all that hype of waiting for Project 8 to come out.
Okay, I see.
And I remember a theme park. That's all I remember of it.
Yeah, I remember the theme park.
I'd like to play it again and see if it is as trash as people say. It's not as bad as Tony Hawk Ride.
Oh god, we bought that.
Why?
God, that was a mistake of money. Because like it was such a hype thing.
Why didn't you just buy a real skateboard?
Well, my brother had a skateboard, and I didn't skate. I wasn't a skater, but I played video games. So, but I played Tony Hawk Ride like twice. And I was like, I don't like this.
I
and
never bought
played it
Ride.
again.
I've got I'm going to change the subject completely because it's just a weird coincidence has happened, Andrew.
Yeah.
I've copped a match on Bumble, right?
Right now.
Yeah.
Oh my
And so-
god.
Do we know who it is?
We don't know who it is, but the first message,
From her.
yeah. Can you guess what it
From
is?
him.
Oh, it's a guy.
No, it's a girl. Can you guess what it is?
Actually, just before I do, can guys match with guys on Bumble?
If you change your preferences.
But then who messages
the women
first?
The Bumble only allows the woman to message
Oh,
first.
yeah, true.
So it's just a
We'll come back to
stalemate.
this. We'll come back to
We'll
this.
come back. I don't know.
It's-
It's something
it's-
to do with Tony Hawk.
No, it's not relevant to Tony Hawk,
Oh.
but it's relevant to us.
I don't know.
Think of opening messages.
What is this the same message from the other day that I sent?
What did you say the other day?
What was it? What would you rather, high five a tiger or hug a panda?
Yeah, so I got, okay, so who would win in a fight to the death between a great white shark and a saltwater crocodile?
Crocodile.
Crocodile?
No, wait, no, it
Wait, say
depends
it
where.
again. Say it again.
It depends where the fight is.
Why?
Well, the great white shark is not going to be in like a saltwater lake, is it?
No, you're right, but nor is a saltwater crocodile.
Is it not?
No, it's going to be... All the saltwater things are connected to the sea.
Yeah, but like it doesn't. The great white shark lives in the
In the
ocean,
sea, you're right.
and the croc lives like near land.
It depends. Is it on land?
That's what I'm saying, it
On
depends.
land, crocodile, hands down, every time.
Yeah, but if you're in shallow waters, also crocodile. If you're out in the deep blue sea, I'm
Shark.
gonna go with shark.
Yeah.
So it
Because
depends.
the crocodile would drown.
Well, crocodiles can swim, and
Yeah,
they
but
can hold their breath for a long time.
Yeah, but if
Yeah,
a
but
shark,
how
if the
long?
shark can just bring it down for a minute
Or just bite its head off.
or bite or that.
Great
Or
great
that.
white sharks are very big. You don't... Also, great white sharks... I don't think great white sharks and saltwater crocodiles... I don't think their habitats cross over very often.
Yeah, but that's beside, that's why we're asking where's the
Should I-
battlefield?
should I-
You have to ask
Can
where the
you
battlefield
be
is.
like, can you ask a question that's relevant and smart and makes sense and not something so dumb?
Does that want to be your? Sorry,
is that what you want me to reply to this poor girl?
Just reply to, can you ask a question that's not dumb?
Look,
That's brutal.
I could, but I reckon a conversation opener of like a not dumb question, terrible. If she asked me, you know, how do you calculate the speed of light? I'd go, fuck love, I don't care. Ask me about saltwater crocodiles and sharks though. Granted, I would have accepted what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow. I would have
Hang
copped
on.
that.
What type of swallow though? Indian or African?
It's African or European.
Alright, damn it. Whatever.
I don't know.
Not plot twist. Plot twist. Controversial opinion. Unpopular opinion. A good icebreaker. Just say hi.
I hate that in this day and age, when you start a conversation with someone, you just can't say hey anymore.
I know, it annoys me so much. I feel, okay, maybe on Tinder, Bumble, whatever, messaging, maybe you can't just say hi. In person, though, turns out you can just introduce yourself, and that actually is okay.
But also people who
Surprise.
are like, you have to send me something witty and fun. It's like, oh, I'm sorry that you get so many matches and that I have to send you something witty and funny.
No, but I'm talking about, like, even in person, people go, oh, I need a good pickup line. No, just say hi, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Say, oh, come here often. No, just say, hey, I'm Andrew. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Fat penguin.
Fat penguin?
Weighs enough to break the ice.
Oh, there's no fat polar.
Oh, I thought it was a polar bear.
No,
you
it
go
works either
either.
way.
Oh,
Either
I feel
way,
like
the
a
ice
fat
is melting, so anything.
Well, I mean,
will
I
crack
guess,
the
I
ice.
guess
acorn.
polar
Ice Age reference.
polar bear would make more sense because
It's
polar
a lot
bears
heavier than a penguin, even a fat penguin.
Well, no, I was gonna say because polar bears live up north where there's no land,
All right.
whereas penguins live down south, and Antarctica's
We
a big
should
old
stop
continent.
saying
It's also
dumb
a
things.
joke.
Well, no, it's an icebreaker.
Okay,
That's how you break the ice by
Interested
boring them.
in men.
there you go. We're gonna find out.
Are you gonna do it?
I'm gonna see what happens.
Yes. I love a good experiment.
We'll have to wait for me to get some matches.
That's alright. Just keep swiping while we're talking.
That guy looks like what's his face from Woolies.
Oh yeah, but not really at the same time. I think
But,
you've
like-
just seen that
No,
the
no.
race, and
No.
that's about it.
Oh, but
Because he doesn't look like him at all.
What if this guy's called Max?
Awesome.
Swipe with him.
Oh,
Matt-
I found.
Oh, mate.
I also said the name.
That one I actually don't mind censoring. That one's funny. Can you swipe right? Swipe right on
Do you
it.
want me to do it?
Yeah, of course.
Done.
That's hilarious.
Oh, okay. So this spiked in a saltwater pool, controlled conditions. How
Pool.
deep?
How deep's the pool? How big's the pool?
You could,
Like a backyard pool?
The shark's
I'm
pretty
going
big.
I'm going croc.
Yeah, because I've got a saltwater pool, and if a shark's in there, it will die. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
just
it
not
won't be
big
able
enough.
to move.
Yeah.
It'd have to
It'll fit the
be.
entire pool.
It'd have to be like a whale enclosure at sea parks.
But not SeaWorld because they're awful.
Well, just sea
That's why I
parks.
said sea parks.
Just
which I found out recently. Not real.
just a generic sea parks.
Yeah.
We're creating our own place called Sea Parks.
I mean, we do.
Yeah, it's a reference from a TV show,
It's,
but
anyway.
it's IT crowd.
You're gonna need to watch IT Crowd so we can.
A fire
Leave.
at sea parks.
Anyway, yeah, it needs to be like a whale enclosure,
Yeah.
so it's enough for the shark to actually be able to swim.
But then the shark gets an unfair advantage in the fact that it's in its natural habitat and the crocodile isn't.
Well, it's okay, so fine.
What if we put them
No, it's
both?
not- I wouldn't. I would argue that a
What?
whale
Hang on.
enclosure
How about
is
this?
not.
How about this? We give them both guns. We make them march 10 paces, turn and shoot.
Okay, first of all, they can't march 10 paces. Crocodile can. I'd argue crocodile can.
Put the shark on a crane.
They can't shoot.
Sharks with laser beams.
Sharks
Freaking
with
lasers.
freaking laser beams.
I don't know. How often do sharks and crocodiles fight?
Jesus, I am cold.
Ever.
Alright.
Nice to meet you, Cold. I am Andrew.
Hi, Andrew. Nice to meet you.
That's a good icebreaker.
You just go up to some girl at a bar. She's like, "I'm hungry. Hi, hungry."
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
They might think you're dad though.
That's fine. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it to marry this girl. I'm just gonna do it because I think it'd be funny.
Oh, like how I'm not swiping dudes on Bumble to.
Sure.
What?
All right. Whatever you say, mate.
What if I'm gonna have to keep going because I've done a few, and I'm like, oh, I don't have to. But I have to keep going because like
I don't think I have Bumble.
diminishing returns.
I think I deleted it.
Oh my god, Andrew! Yeah, just put your Bumble to men.
I don't have Bumble anymore.
Well, just download it.
No, I can't.
Why don't you have Bumble anymore?
I deleted it.
I don't
I
want to
don't like
keep
Bumble.
doing this,
No.
but I'm doing this for science.
It's not really science, is it? More for a laugh.
Yeah, it's a little bit of science.
A little bit of science.
The science of comedy.
The science of comedy.
Ooh, he's a snack.
Yeah. That's funny. You could just message old mate, whose name I'm not going to repeat, and ask what he does when he matches with someone.
Yeah, that's really weird. Hey,
Mate.
hey, dude. haven't spoken in a fair
okay,
while.
don't worry about
Let
it.
me just ask you, when you're on Bumble swiping for dudes and you match, who messages first? But I am really interested.
Maybe
Maybe it's the second swipe up.
No, I was gonna say maybe all gay dudes just have their Instagram profile, Instagram at handle,
Oh,
or something.
yeah.
And then you just is this a common knowledge? Just slide into the DMs if you match. Have you matched?
No, but this guy's got his Instagram.
Most people have their Instagram.
This
Yeah.
guy
I don't
doesn't
put
have
my
his
Instagram
Instagram.
up on there.
I thought every girl on Tinder. I'm not usually on here, but follow my Instagram.
And it's like,
Literally
no.
every.
I don't put my
Okay.
Instagram up on there. I'm like, no, you can't see it.
Yeah, you don't want people following the Michelle Morris TV.
Yeah.
Oh, oh,
You got
oh,
a match? Did
I
you
got a
get a
match.
All right,
Oh my
find
God.
out. Can you message?
And I can message first. So,
Just send him a message saying thank you for participating in this science experiment.
No, that's me.
Oh, he's
Because then he'll
cute.
be like,
He's cute.
what? You're just baiting me?
Because if I was baiting you, I'd get you to send me photos or something like that.
he's got pink hair.
I don't care.
Pink hair, don't care.
Alright.
I can message first, right? But he swiped me first. So maybe it's like the second swiper messages first.
I reckon anyone could swipe.
I
Could
reckon.
send a message.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Maybe I'll get another match.
Or maybe that guy will message you. Because if he messages
Maybe,
it,
but then what do I say? Oh, sorry, I'm not actually
just
interested in men.
Ignore it.
Ignore it.
Yeah, accidental
I
swipe.
feel so bad.
Oh, mate, it happens all the time.
Accidental
all the
swipe.
time.
I've accidentally set my interest to men and swiped you by accident.
What's the weirdest line you've ever gotten on like Tinder or something? Michelle. I'm asking Michelle. Anything
Probably,
spring?
I just remember ages ago someone like was just so blunt and was like DTF, and then I was like,
Yeah, sorry about that.
Sometimes you gotta be forward. What's the weirdest message you've received, Andrew?
I don't know. I don't get weird messages.
I told you about-
Obviously, it's 9 times out of 10. It's me messaging the girl.
Yeah, well, that's why I use Bumble.
Yeah, but then I never get the girls messaging. I don't fucking match people on Bumble.
I told you about the one the other day that I got, right?
No.
I matched with some girl, and she's like, hey, this is a bit forward. She's like, you're hot. Can I peg you?
Oh wait, he did tell me about that.
what?
And I was like, look, honey.
Honey.
Please.
I was like... Did
you reply?
Yeah, I did. I found like, I'm sorry, you're not my type.
I don't understand why you
And-
reply if you're not. If
And
you're
then I
not interested.
unmatched. I felt bad not replying. But
That's so
the
weird.
first thought that went through my head was genuinely, gosh, she's not my type. It wasn't. Absolutely not.
I recently got a message from some random that I think I matched with overseas, and she said, and like I deleted Tinder and then I re-downloaded it, and the message came through then. I hadn't seen it prior to when I deleted it. It said, "I like Andy Pandy,"
Oh, yeah.
and I hate that. That makes me feel disgusting.
Yeah, but have you watched Andy Pandy?
Yeah, the show, of course.
Yeah.
It's named after me.
And I like Andy Pandy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Oh, yeah.
Why does she look so worried?
I matched with her.
she looks worried.
Yeah, it's not a great photo, is it? I matched with her.
You should say hey.
No,
Can I say hey?
no.
Can you recommend
You know
her
what
to
we
me?
can say? We can say, thanks for listening, everybody.
This is new.
Tinder
The
University. Yeah.
What is that?
Swipe on students at your school and nearby.
It's so weird.
Yeah, but none
Do
of
I
us
have to
go
pay
to
for it?
uni.
Is Tinder University paid?
I don't know. I didn't look into it because I don't go to university. Oh, I got a match.
Oh my god. Add your school to your profile to find out your eligibility.
It's weird. This is probably
That's
the
a
only
weird
word-
way of pronouncing eligibility.
Eligibility. You can't add Davidson High School. Oh wait, it's only American
That's
schools.
university. Davidson High School's not university, you ningus.
It's not, there's no Australian school anyway. Type in
There's-
UTS, it doesn't come up.
What about UNSW?
Let's try Sydney Uni, because I think...
What about
University of
Mac?
Sydney. Alright, let's try University of Sydney.
Apparently I can get Tinder Gold for 50% off.
Tinder
for my
University is
first
not
month.
at that school. It's obviously yet to be added. What a weird concept there.
Yeah,
It is
not
weird.
really. It's like what was that app called where the Yik Yak?
Yik Yak?
Yeah, people used Yik Yak to hook up at university.
I don't know what Yik Yak is.
Oh, that was like that green thing.
Yeah, I loved Yik Yak. I used to send you Yik Yaks all the time.
Send who Yik Yaks?
Both of you.
You never sent it
It
to
was
me.
sort of a blanket.
You never sent it to me.
Yeah. Because I was super into Yik Yak when we started
I
at
don't know
James.
what
I
Yik Yak
never
is.
had Yik Yak.
Yeah, no, I used to screenshot them and send them to you. You probably just didn't recognise them as Yik Yaks.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
No, okay. I thought you meant you were sending us like messages. I was
Yeah,
like,
or like
what?
requests
No.
or something to
No.
join.
No. No, I just screenshotted some Yickety Yakketies.
Yeah, probably.
Wait, isn't Yik Yak when people like post random?
Yeah,
things
and then
Yeah.
people would post like,
They vote for it or something?
man, bare horny tonight.
Oh, I did not know that.
Room
Was,
603.
I did not know that
Floor-
was a thing.
Floor
for people.
6.
Jeez, I only remember like all the funny things that people would post
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah, well, it's just if you set them to like, I don't know, like Forest Lodge, which is like one of the
University lodges.
yeah
or something.
for like UNSW or something.
And on that note,
Yeah, we've been going for just about an hour, just under an hour now.
Yeah, we did have a small break.
Oh yeah, we did have a bit. Oh, it was like not even a minute.
You were gone for like 5 minutes.
No, it
no,
wasn't.
I got shit done whilst you were gone.
Okay.
what did you get done? What do you have to do to get done?
I got shit done. What I did is I built
Called
my clout whilst it was gone. I shot Sophie like a message. Sophie, if you're listening,
Yeah.
Did you?
Next
Would
week
love
on
you
the
on the
podcast,
podcast.
we're having a special guest, Sophie
Sophie
Luck.
Luck.
Calling it now. So funny. Really quick story before we end it. Max and I were at Chatswood the other day,
Oh no.
and we were driving. No, it's not bad. We were leaving the car park, and there was this person behind us, and Max looks in the mirror and goes, "Wait, no, not kidding at all. Is that Sophie Luck behind us?"
dead set in
And I
my
turn
rearview
around.
mirror. It looked dead ringer for Sophie
Yeah,
Luck.
I turn around and like it's kind of an awkward reflection on the window, and I'm like, I don't think it is, but like it might be.
And then we get out of the awkward reflection. We got out of the awkward reflection, and then she puts her bloody
Her visor
sun
down.
visor down, so you can't see. So Andrew's turned around in my car, and he's like, I don't know. And we pulled up next to her, and it turned out it looked nothing like Sophie
definitely
Luck.
was not her.
Oh my god.
We were unlucky there,
Yeah,
but you know.
it was. We were like discussing if it was so. Do we wind down the window and ask her, "Hey, we got a podcast. Really awkward. I know this isn't bad timing, but like, would you be keen? We'll shoot you a message on Instagram."
I reckon we
Yes.
should just one of us should do it, not two of us, because if we do it with like not enough clout, she'll be like no, so and then she'll block us, but then you don't message her.
Do you just want to slide into her DM?
No, you know what I just realised though?
What?
Talia never accepted my follow request.
Who?
Okay, this is a funny story.
Who?
So-
Old pub.
Last Saturday, Max and I went out to Marquee at the Star, and like it just wasn't an amazing night. I don't know, it was pretty shit. So we decided to leave. We were
After
there for
about
like an
half
hour.
as-
No, it was like an hour.
I think it was 45 minutes.
Maybe just under an hour. Anyway, we decided to leave, and we got Hungry Jack's, and then we got the Night Rider bus back to Chatswood to try and get the 3 o'clock bus home.
Well, we tried to get the 2 o'clock.
We tried to
bus
get the
home,
2 o'clock
but for some reason,
Hang on, we'll get to that. So we get on. We're waiting for the Night Rider. It comes in like 10 or so minutes, and this chick walks past us, and she's obviously drunk and with her friends eating Macca's or something, and she's like, "What time does the bus come?" And then she's like right next to us, and I just go, "Oh, it's like just." Because her friends weren't answering. I was like, "Oh, it's in 10 minutes. It comes in 10 minutes." And then I thought, that'll be it. She's like, "Oh, thank you. Keep walking." And then she just stops and just starts talking to us. And she's like, "This is the one to Hornsby, right?" I'm like, yeah. Hornsby's the last one. "Oh, good, because we're going to Old Pub after this." So Old Pub's this place in Barara that I've never been to, but God, do I want to go. It just sounds...
Me too,
Only
me too.
because it's like... I've been told it's like the scummiest place that you just don't want to be there. But people go there, that kind of place.
Mm.
Kind of like Shark Bar.
So it's so bad that it's good.
Yeah,
yeah.
basically.
I mean, we should definitely do
And
a
apparently-
podcast trip to Old Pub.
Yeah, apparently they'll let anyone in there, that type of thing. And then Max has fallen in love with this girl.
I fall in love quite easily.
Yeah, and I don't even know how we started talking about it, but she was telling us about her brother who does drone photography. And then we
RC
followed-
Bliss Photography on
and then we
Instagram.
followed him on Instagram, and then... yeah, and then we got on the bus and she was like chanting, "Oh, pub, and we were talking about... I don't even think it was her friends we were talking to these
No,
random dudes.
he was friends with her.
Oh, okay.
It was workmates. There was
that's
just
right, yeah.
something about the unbridled positivity that she
Yeah.
had. She was so positive about... She spoke to us for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah, until the bus came.
Yeah, and she was just so positive about it. She's like, I have $34 in my bank account. It's great.
Yeah,
And it's like, wow.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she's like, I work 2 jobs. And she's just so happy.
It was so.
She had...
It was so funny about. She was,
It's 1 a.m. and she's got sunglasses.
yeah, she said she worked at a bakery in Coles, right?
Yeah.
So she goes, "Oh,
I'm
my
s-
job."
yeah, I'm super embarrassed by my job.
She told us she worked at Coles, and then 2 minutes later goes, "I'm really embarrassed about my job." And we're like, "Oh, tell us what you do." She goes, "I work at Coles," and then I look at Max and I go, "Oh yeah, we knew that. Why are you embarrassed by that?" Coles.
and furthermore,
she's
I was
18.
like-
She's fresh 18, by the way.
Yeah.
This year. So what? You work at Coles? Who cares?
I was like, I spent like months packing shelves at Woolies. Like, it's not bad. But,
Maybe she'd rather be at Woolies. That's why she's embarrassed.
I mean,
Yeah.
Coles,
Woolies, they're way
Coles,
better.
Coles is B-Tech Woolies. Like, you go in
Yeah.
it's B-Tech AF.
Yeah, but it stays open later. So
What was the thing that I was going to say that you said I couldn't say?
her name?
No, you reminded me of something. And you said you'll get...
Go on
I'll
the
get
bus.
Yeah, no, the Chanting
Oh,
Old Club.
no.
Wasn't it?
The
So
other
we're on the
bus.
bus. We're on the bus. We're on the Night Rider.
Oh, the bus.
Going
the bus
across
driver.
the harbour bridge, and we're making fantastic time. I'm thinking we're gonna cop the 2:00 bus.
Yeah,
from Chatswood.
Like at the most off chance, we'll have to just do a slight jog to the bus.
Yeah,
But we'll get there.
and then the bus driver. I'm looking at him in the mirror. The bus starts slowing down, and he's just sat there not doing anything.
On the middle of the
In the
harbour
middle of the
bridge.
harbour bridge, middle lane, comes to an almost complete stop, and I couldn't tell if he was reaching down beside his seat or if he was having a genuine stroke. Then all of a sudden, just goes.
Yeah.
Right? And then, he gets to Artarmon.
No, it was North. It was North Sydney.
No, it was Artarmon,
Was
wasn't it?
No, when
And-
he stopped and people got on.
Yeah, and people were trying
No,
to get
it was
on,
North
and
Sydney,
he
it was North
just
Sydney.
stopped at the bus stop for like 5 minutes, and we were 5 minutes late.
Yeah, we
To the
missed
2
it.
o'clock
We
bus.
just missed it.
And
So we have
then,
to wait now for the 3 o'clock.
Speaking of Chatswood buses sucking, Andrew and I got the bus from Chatswood.
When was this?
Was it you and me? Did we get the bus from Chatswood?
We've got the bus from Chatswood numerous
The other
times
day.
in the
Yeah.
When we
On
were in the
Tuesday.
city and then we get to Chatswood and then
We
home.
got on this bus, and it's just got an alarm going.
Oh yeah.
It's like, na 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 na, and the whole time.
The whole time.
I
And
was-
unless the bus wasn't moving. When the
Yeah.
bus stopped at a light, no alarm. As soon as the bus starts going, beep, beep, beep.
And I couldn't take it. I was
What the
Andrew's.
hell?
Andrew somehow was ignoring it and just getting on with his life, and I was like about to
Yeah.
have a psychotic
I
break.
get the
And
bus all the time.
I
so
was
know
gonna,
how to
I was
ignore
gonna
that stuff.
stab the woman reading about maths in front of me.
Jesus.
It was, yeah. Weirdest bus trip I've ever had, and I told you about it when we went on that bus stop. I was heading home from Chatswood, and we stopped at the bus stop just before Roseville Bridge, heading towards the forest. The back door opens to let someone off. Both doors open, I should say, to let someone off. Then the front door closed, and the back door doesn't. Then he opens up the front door again, and he tries to close them both again. Only the front door closed, and he just decides, yeah, fuck it, and drives with the back door open. And we go across Roseville Bridge at like 80 or whatever, and I'm sitting maybe two chairs back from the open door, and I'm there like, is this actually happening? There's like 3 other people on the bus. I'm like, is this actually happening? But the bus door's just open, and he just doesn't care.
Did you get a nice breeze?
Yeah, nice wind flow come
summer
through.
breeze.
Yeah, it was good. Such a random thing. Anyway, should we end the podcast? It's been
I think
going
so.
about hour 10. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Beans.
So we still don't have a name. Will we have one by? Probably not.
Probably not. But we'll figure it
We'll
out.
try to figure it out. And we're gonna try to do this more often.
And we didn't
Yeah.
even have an outro.
We'll play some music. The music
Da,
will
da,
start to
da,
fade
da,
in. The music
da.
will start to fade
Da,
in.
da, da, da,
I'll say
da,
thank you
da,
for listening.
da, da.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Michelle.